Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on gold. As usual, if you like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. As we clearly see, gold has been overall bullish for a while, making higher lows and higher highs, trading inside this rising channel. However, we are currently sitting around the upper bound of the channel, also intersecting with a resistance zone around 1900 round number. We can clearly see it previously. We've got multiple rejections from, and it's currently acting as a resistance zone. So we'll be looking for sell setups on lower time frames, and I insist on the word looking because gold can still dive inside the zone just like previously here and here before trading lower. That's why we zoom into lower time frames and wait for the bears to take over. Meanwhile, we can dive inside it or even break this resistance upward for it to become support. In this case, we'll be looking for buy setups on the retest. But for now, let's take it step by step around the resistance, looking for sell setups. If you zoom into lower time frames to H1, if you remember, previously I posted an analysis that we are looking for buy setups around this area, sell setups around this area, which is the upper bound, also the resistance, and so on. So the bears took over, bulls took over, bears took over, and so on, right? So since we are bullish, when the bears take over, we expect a shorter term bearish movement as it's a correction. And when the bulls take over, expect a bigger impulse movement to push price higher. So now we're expecting a short term bearish movement if and only if, just like previously, we break below the previous low. Once we break below the previous low, the stop loss would be above the previous swing high, and we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to have an edge over the market from a risk management perspective. So this would be our trigger. We want a momentum candle close, just like this one, for example, just like this momentum candle close, and so on, right? Just like this, and so on. So I always like to give you examples about previous setups so you can get an idea about what we are looking for. So we are looking for this sell. This would be our trigger. After this candle close, we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. Meanwhile, until the bears take over, until the sell is activated, gold can still trade higher, form a new low, and then break it downward. And as long as we are below the 1900, we are looking for sell setups unless it's broken upwards. And of course, as we approach the lower bound again, we'll be looking also for trend following buy setups just like previously. Before we continue, I want to tell you about Tickmill. Tickmill is established in 2014 and is one of the leading Forex and CFD brokers with registered users from more than 200 different countries. Tickmill is a no-dealing desk and ECN broker regulated in many countries like the UK, Cyprus, and recently in South Africa. With Tickmill, you can trade a wide range of instruments, starting from Forex to indices, commodities, and even crypto. Most importantly, with very low spreads and trading fees. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using my referral link in the description below to benefit from 5% discounts on your trading fees. And let's continue. As we clearly see, GBPJPY has been stuck inside this big range, and we lately broke below the support zone, so it's now acting as a resistance area. That's why we'll be looking for sell setups on lower time frames. And if you remember previously, I posted a video when we were around this area that we are looking for buy setups around this support and also a demand zone. For now, we are approaching a resistance, previously support multiple times, and now broken downward, acted as a resistance, and now we are retesting it. That's why we are looking for sell setups unless we break above this previous major high. It would also be a break above the resistance. In this case, it would become a support, and we'll be looking for buy setups on the retest. We're expecting a movement till this supply lining up with this, well, like with this trend line. For now, let's take it step by step. We are still below the resistance. We are looking for sell setups. If you zoom into lower time frames, if you remember my previous analysis, which you can clearly see here attached, we were around this area, the exact place where I made this, or like by default this would pop up, that we are looking for this to happen and then a break above it for the bulls to take over and so on. And this was to feel the overall bearish movement. So correction started, impulse started, correction started, and we are currently around the resistance as mentioned from daily. That's why we are looking, just like previously, for the bears to take over. For them to take over, we need to see a break below these lows. You can also extend this one In this case, when we have this break, as usual, I highlight it like this as our trigger. When the sell is activated, the stop loss would be above the previous swing high, and as usual, we target a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to have an edge over the market, and this would be around this demand zone. Meanwhile, and until the bears take over, GBPJPY can still trade higher before we break it downward. In this case, we'll still be waiting for this break or break above this resistance upward as mentioned from daily in an aggressive manner. In this case, we'll be looking for bar setups on the retest. That's it for GBPJPY. Best of luck, and I'll see you hopefully on the next one.